two very unwelcome visitors on my face. Anyway, hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. And before I start the video, please guys, stay at home, wear your mask. Even if you're answering the doorbell, make sure you go out to see who it is. Wear a mask. That's the most important thing right now. And as you have already read from the title, this is my first declutter video. About a year back, I don't remember exactly when, and I have to go through all my videos and the comments in order to find out. I think one of you requested me to do a declutter video, and my prompt answer to that question, to that request, was that sorry, I never declutter. I don't know if I spoke too soon, but somehow in the recent months I realized that there have been a few fragrances that I have not reached out for at all. Maybe the situation was such that I did not think of wearing them. Maybe they were kind of fragrances that required specific occasions where I could wear them, and I was not getting that. At least with one of them I can definitely say so. Obviously, you know, I think I mentioned this a couple of videos back that I am facing a space crunch right now because of my ever increasing, ever growing family of fragrances. So here are 5 fragrances that I have finally decluttered, and I felt bad about it, but I wanted to keep them because I like them, but I was not using them, and somehow I feel I was not using them because I was not getting an opportunity to use them, which is why I thought it's best to let them go to owners who will put them to better use and you know, enjoy them far more than I can possibly under the circumstances. So let's start the video. The first fragrance that I decluttered is Lancome's Idol. Now, many of you have already gone through many reviews saying that Idol is not a very good perfume, and some people hated the bottle. I, for one, I like the bottle, the slimmest bottle in the whole world. I thought it was unique, but with obviously one disadvantage, which is common to everyone, that it did not stand on its own. It had to be safely kept inside the box at all times. But that was not the reason why I wanted to sell it away. I already had, before Idol, I already had with me Modern Princess. I have another Lava fragrance which is Eclat d'Arpège. I have L'Impétueuse from Dolce & Gabbana. I have a Gucci Bloom. I have fairly good stock, or I already had a good stock of fruity floral fragrances, which is why I thought Lancome was not getting used appropriately, and which is why, and it was almost like a full bottle even after 2 years, so I thought I might as well sell it away. It was a beautiful fragrance, no doubt about it, but it was, whenever I wore it, I felt like I have so many of them, which is common to this one, to this kind of fragrance, which is why I thought I'll sell it away. The next fragrance that I am going to talk about is Valentino Pomade, and this is a fragrance that I bought because I heard so many reviewers talk so highly about it, and I really like fragrances that are powdery in nature, and I was expecting this to be amazing. This is amazing, for that matter. Many people like it, many people love it, and with good reason as well. For me, it was too much. It was too intense for my nose. It was very, very strong, very rich kind of a powdery scent, which I somehow could not handle, and which is why right from the time it came, it was delivered to me, and I took the first sniff. I took one spritz, and I knew this is not something that I will be able to use, because I wear fragrances mostly for myself, and you know, it has to smell good to me, on me. I feel like whenever I'm using a fragrance, I have to be comfortable with the aroma, with the smell of it on me, to be able to carry it well as an accessory. But this one was too strong for my taste, which is why I did not exactly sell it. I returned it to the seller. I exchanged it for Valentino Oud Absolute, and I've shown that perfume in my last haul video. So that was like an exchange, but I did away with the Poudre. The next fragrance that I decluttered is Marc Antoine's B683. Now at the time when there was pre-orders being taken by a seller for B683 and Ganymede, most people opted for Ganymede and I opted for B683 because when I checked the notes appeared to be more to my liking when it came to B683. And honestly speaking, when the fragrance finally arrived, I sniffed it. It was an amazing fragrance. I had no complaints as to the fragrance, but it was for a man, not a woman. It was essentially a masculine kind of a fragrance. Despite the notes being of my choice, the treatment of that fragrance was something that only a man can carry. It cannot be for a woman. I remember I just took one spritz of it and it lasted for more than 24 hours on me, even after I showered, and I totally smelled like a man. Honestly, that is what a woman would like to smell on a man, but not on themselves, and I'm pretty sure about that, which is why I decided to sell it off. And actually I had to wait for a very little time for this fragrance to be picked up by someone, obviously a man, and I'm sure he's enjoying it right now, because if I had just left it with me, it would have just been sitting there in my cupboard doing nothing. So I'm happy about it, and I'm happy that currently it is with someone who will know how to use it better. The next fragrance that I'm going to talk about has been very recently featured in my most unique fragrances, and I still hold on to my opinion that it is an amazingly unique fragrance. It is a kind of an elegant amber which is very subdued and yet very royal in my opinion, and that is Amre Royale from the house of Maison. Amre Royale, in my opinion, is a very professional settings kind of a fragrance. That is not a fragrance that you would want to wear when you're going out with your friends, or you're just kind of lounging by yourself, or you are going to a coffee shop, or you're going out shopping, or you're going out on a picnic, or at a party. Even for men going out to a party, or clubbing, they will not wear Amre Royale. That is to me a very professional office meeting or any other business-like situation kind of a fragrance. And presently my work life is such which is absolutely confined in at home, so I'm not going out anywhere, I'm not meeting people, which is why the fragrance is not getting used at all, and that is primarily the reason why I decided to let it go. And I'm sure it will be used very well by the person who has taken it. It will be used more frequently than I have been able to use it. Going on to the next fragrance, this is called Fidelis, and it is from the house of HDB or Historis de Parfums. And the reason I decluttered Fidelis is very close to B683. It was sitting there in my cupboard, not being used, not being reached out for in a long time. And secondly, I felt the fragrance was a bit on the dry, woody type, which was probably the reason I was not reaching out for it that often. I was kind of missing out on the feminine part of the fragrance, which is not the fault of the fragrance at all, because the dry down was amazing, but somewhere the woodiness kind of ruled a bit, which made it a little dry and less suited to my feminine tastes, which is why I thought, since I've not used it that much, let me do away with it. And now I come to the last fragrance, which will be quite shocking to most of you, and quite understandably so, because most people love this fragrance. And I don't know, I know I tried my best to like it. I know I tried my best to use it to the most, use it, and it's a very potent fragrance, so I needed very little of it. 1 or 2 sprays at the most I had used it, but I could not bring myself to like it that much. And that is Rouge Smoking from the house of BDK. I still think BDK has something better to offer me, which there are 2 or 3 more fragrances on my wish list which I'll definitely try, but maybe next time I will not be blind buying them. I will be sampling them out before I buy a full bottle. Now, why did I do away with Rouge Smoking, which is otherwise such a popular fragrance with many people? I thought it was too intense. It was too strong for my nose. That's the only reason. I tried to use it during the coldest days of the month in December and in January, but somehow it did not match my taste, and it did not make me feel comfortable, and that is the reason I thought it'll be just lying there, and I will not be using it, and waiting for another December to give it a second trial, because Rouge Smoking is a fragrance that you really cannot experiment with in the hot weather. That's something I'll have to wait. I would have had to wait for another September to December to be able to use it, and I don't think September, the kind of weather that we have here in my city, September is hardly the month where I could use Rouge Smoking. But and you know, December is the only month, very cold, dry weather is the only time when you can possibly use that fragrance, and somehow I felt it would be a long wait to just keep it for trial, because once I don't like it, once I don't like something, I usually very rarely come to like it again. It's almost done, and I tried it a couple of times and I knew I will not be able to withstand the strength of the perfume. It's too potent, very strong and intense to my nose. It kind of burned me out when it kind of burned up my nose. So that is why I decluttered it. So that's it. That's 6 of my fragrances being decluttered for the first time in my life this year, and I think I've been collecting fragrances for over 12 years now, 12 to 15, and I have never decluttered. I've never given away or sold or anything, any perfume. So as of now, this year, when I finally did away with 6 of my fragrances, but I've got others coming in, and I've got already, as I shared with you in my last haul, I've got some really interesting fragrances. I've got some more interesting ones on my wish list, so I'm really looking forward to it. So with that, I end the video today. I hope you liked it. I loved bringing it to you, and until I see you next time in a video coming up very soon, lots of love.